welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we go along if you're enjoying the content. If you don't know who I am Sandra Burmy, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. This book was published in 2017 and it celebrates our diversity across the asexual spectrum and our differences within it, which is what Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month is all about. Also, I'm the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Thank you for joining me tonight. Lots of love to you and thanks for the thumbs up already. I really appreciate that. It's so kind of you. So tonight's episode, we are again doing excerpts from this Asexual Perspectives book because it is Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month. So I created this month especially to go with the book a couple of years ago when I published it. And I feature some of the people out of the book in the different episodes as we go throughout the whole of July. So even if you haven't bought the book, you can still benefit from it. If you have bought the book, then we can discuss topics within it so you can kind of follow along. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about if you could have one wish about being asexual, what would it be and why? This is a question I asked to my 46 asexuals in this book. I also answered this question myself at the back of the book. And so I'm going to read a few answers out and then we're going to have a nice discussion on it. And so I think it's really important to take time out of your day to have a look at, people's answers and how different people across the asexual spectrum answer. Oh, by the way, the links for this book are in the description below if you do want to grab a copy. So yes, so I asked this to Jamie James, who's in the book, page 210. If you could have one wish about being asexual, what would it be and why? So their response was, in an ideal world, a relationship with a male asexual that was asexual. So I really want to discuss this because I know exactly what she means, because there are a lot of people that are coming on asexual dating sites, and particularly Ace app, which is an asexual dating app, and they're not really asexual. And it really is hard when you're trying to search for a genuine asexual. I know there are genuine asexuals on Ace app because I'm friends with some of them. I've actually recommended the app to people, but I've told people beforehand there are trolls on there. There are some people that aren't really asexual on there. So you have to be very aware and safe, obviously, and you have to look at what their profile says, and what they're asking you and what they're saying. I can pretty much work out most fake profiles quite easily, or most trolls or people that are not genuinely asexual. I pretty much know it just by looking at their profile, and if they send me a message, I know it even more. And my response is, I'm asexual, not heterosexual. So looking for an asexual. They haven't even said to me they're not asexual. They haven't even said to me they are asexual. They've just started off like a conversation. I had one the other day. It's quite sleazy, actually. I don't know if I got it on my phone. Let me show you. I'm not actually going to show you because I don't think it's fair to show people's profiles. I guess if they're fake, it doesn't matter so much. But I want to read it out to you because it's just like another one of those typical typical sleazy things. Do you know what I mean? Let me see if I can find it. Oh, right. Yeah. This was it, right? This guy is supposed to be from America and confused and from the American Army. I mean, I don't know if you're a member of Twitter, but if you're on Twitter, there are a lot of guys, and even on Facebook, that are usually fake profiles, and they say they work for the army. Well known on Google as well. I used to get it on Google a lot when people used to follow me on Google, and there are people that will get fake pictures from army guys, pretend they're in the army, and do it to chat you up online to get, I don't know what they're going to get out of it, a thrill, because at the end of the day, it's not like you're going to meet them unless they try and con you out of money or try and con you into doing something else. But then some people are very manipulative, and they use online messaging to emotionally attach to you and manipulate you. So you have to be very, very careful of these people, right? And this person, you know, I mean, they put confused, and I told you, whenever they put confused on ASAP, it's a big, big warning sign. They're likely not asexual unless they specified in the description what they're confused about. So a genuine asexual will, if they put confused, will say, I'm new to the ace spectrum, or I'm new to the asexual community. I'm not quite sure I fit in yet, just seeing how this goes. You know, they'll make reference to them being asexual. You know, this person's just put ASAP. Well, yeah, they're on ASAP, and they've put confused. And, you know, and they've got, I don't know, and like their voice does not go with the picture either. And this is a creepy thing. Listen to this. Hello, dear. You look so beautiful and adorable. If you don't mind, can I be a friend? I mean, how sleazy is that? I get stuff like this on Twitter quite a bit. They connect with me, these guys, and they're like, oh, can we be friends? It's like, I don't even know you. I'm not going to be friends with someone I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's just so creepy. And that guy sounds like a much older guy than the guy in the picture. I don't see the guy in the picture and those words coming out of his mouth. Do you know what I mean? So I literally just said straight away, I'm looking for a hetero asexual guy, not heterosexual. I don't like sex. This is on ASAP. Bear in mind, this is an app for asexuals for dating. And then their response was, this is really funny. Why don't you like sex, if I must ask you? And I couldn't even be bothered to go into the fact that this is an app for just asexuals, people who don't like sex in general, you know, because I'm always doing something like that. It's like, I've got better things to be doing with my time, you know. These type of people should just be filtered out from even going on there, you know. I know ASAP have taken an extra precaution now because they've got to, you know, an extra layer of authentication where you have to verify your email address. But do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. You know, it's like, I'm asexual. It's an asexual app, you know? So that's the type of thing you get. So, you know, it's like, I really want a genuine asexual person, you know? And some of them on the asexual dating sites, they're not really genuine asexual. There's more, I find, that are genuine asexuals on the asexual dating sites. But even so, you know, I want people who say they're asexual to be asexual. They're on asexual dating sites, you know, to make it clear they're either asexual. If they're not asexual, put, for goodness sake, I'm a heterosexual, not asexual, but I'm quite happy to have an asexual relationship. Or I'm thinking there might be some people who are asexual who might want sex. Do you know what I mean? Just to spell it like it is. Not, you know, not be rubbish about it. You know, I hate people that are not genuine and just mess people around. So, this is Eddie's story. If you could have one wish about being asexual, what would it be and why? If people could not talk or ask me about sex, that would be great. And I'm sure as an asexual person, you've come across that before. If you're out about being asexual, if you're out and proud, you know, one of the questions you probably find you get asked is, so do you have sex then? Have you tried sex then? How do you know you don't like sex if you haven't tried it? You just haven't found the right person yet to have sex with, you know, that you enjoy sex with. You know, people just don't get it. But, you know, it's not our job to force them to get it and understand it. If they don't understand it, they don't get it. You know, all you can do is try and explain and educate. And if they don't want to know, that's their problem. It's not your problem at the end of the day. You know, as far as I'm concerned, there are thousands of asexuals around the globe, you know, and I'm just really proud to be part of the asexual community. I'm proud to be asexual, you know, because of the work I do. You know, I end up having a lot of private discussions with, you know, quite a lot of guys about private stuff, you know, and, you know, it's the way it is, but I don't mind if it's for educational purposes. Obviously, I've got my Asexual Sex Stories book coming up. Is the next book that I'm working on with the interviewees at the moment. I'm really happy with the people that are in the book. I'm still looking for some more people. If you want to be in this next book, it's to share their sexual experiences, the asexuals that have had sex, in order to help other asexuals that do want to try it, or whose families are pushing them, if their culture means that, they're meant to get married to a sexual person and have kids, what it's, to help find out what it's really like, what to do, how it feels. Because, I'm fortunate. I live in a Western country. I live in the UK. I have a lot of freedom compared to some other cultures and countries where their families push them to get married young and to have kids, and they force them into arranged marriages, if they don't technically force them, they make them feel shameful if they don't accept and do it, because they basically put pressure on that person, saying, well, you'll bring shame on the family if you don't marry and have kids, because that's what is expected. And so this book will help those people. I had a person come in private message to ask me about, should they, if they really don't like sex, if this person doesn't even like being touched, should they be going with their family along with it to have this arranged marriage and to have kids, And if you don't like even being touched, then I would say no, don't do it, but I can't, I know what it's like for those people. It's horribly pressurizing, it's horribly pressurizing. I've got foreign friends and I know what it's like, and I know the amount of pressure that goes into it, and it's just crazy. And so I want the book to help those people, to help those people make informed choices and decisions, and to also help them if they're going to do it anyway, And so I think this book is going to be amazing. It's also really good. I'm quite touched about the amount of guys in it sharing their very personal stories. Some's quite traumatic, actually, and I really thank them for that. There's this very big stigma and stereotype that it's only, females who can reveal if they've had bad past experiences. And, there's not enough out in the world about guys having bad experiences. And I think the book will help show that. I think it's quite revolutionary in that way, in the fact that, men speak out about how they've been treated and how that's affected their life going forward. And so I think that's a really important part of the Asexual Sex Stories book. This book is going to be incredible, insightful and useful to so many people. It's not just a book with sex stories per se, it's much deeper than that, and I hope it helps a lot of people. So what's the next person? So this is Claire Evelyn's story. If you could have one wish about being asexual, what would it be and why, Claire? So Claire wishes that it would be more prevalent. So in other words, more people would know about it. And I do agree. I think it would help, especially when we're looking for an asexual life partner. It would help considerably if we could find someone compatible with us in the asexual sphere rather than the sexual one, because it's very difficult for an asexual to be with a sexual and to both have the needs met, sexual needs met or lack thereof. I mean, with me, it's very difficult because I do get highly aroused. I don't mind being really, really close and physical with a guy, with his body, but with clothes on. With clothes on, I'm quite happy to have bodies intertwined, which is very unusual for an asexual person. I don't mind being squashed against all his bits so long as it's with clothes on. And he's not expecting to put it in me, because I'm not interested in that. Not in any way, shape or form, And so it's really interesting how we've got so many different needs across the asexual spectrum, It's, I think it's, it proves harder. And I think the more prevalent asexuality is in society, the more people find out they're asexual, the more people join the community, the more chance we have of finding the right asexual person for us for a relationship, I think it's really important that we do that we have more and more people to choose from, because, it's important that if we do decide on a life partner, that we pick the right one and we choose to be with the right one for life, someone who loves us, care about us, someone who's the most precious person to us in the world, someone who we adore spending time with, someone who adores spending time with us, someone we can have deep and meaningful conversations with, someone we can share all our secrets with. I mean, if you've got that special bond with someone, you know, don't throw it away. You know, don't give it to someone else unless you can't actually live up to the person's needs. You know, relationships are hard work, but they can be so beautiful. And I do think the more people we have in the asexual community, the more people that come into it that are genuinely asexual, the more chance we have of finding the right person for us if we want to be in a relationship. I know there's a lot of asexuals that don't want to be in a relationship, and that's great. But you might want to find a really, you know, more platonic friends. You might want to find more asexual friends. And the more asexuals we have in the asexual community, the more asexual friends you can have, and the more chance you have of meeting more asexuals in real life, in person, offline, you know, because it's very difficult if you don't meet asexuals in person, offline. It kind of feels like a little bit of a disconnect. It's great to know asexuals online, but you really, you know, it takes your asexuality to a whole nother level when you meet asexuals in person. You know, it's like this thing's real, because so many people like try and tell asexuals asexuality is not real, it's not reality, you know, it doesn't exist. And it's like, clearly it does. I'm sat here. Do you know what I mean? There's people who watch this channel that are asexual. There's people who are not, that aren't, you know, not asexual, that watch this channel as well. But you know, clearly I'm a real life, living, breathing asexual. I'm here, you know, touch my skin. So I was to speak at the UK Asexuality Conference last year in London. So there's a number of people that are genuinely asexual. They do exist. We are here. But if it was more prevalent in society, then obviously we'd be able to make a bigger impact on the world in regards to asexuality. I did have one more story to read, but I'm not sure if the bookmark has come out. Now let's see if it's still there, because the book dropped on the floor. Right. Oh yes. Let's get to this one. Where's my bookmark? Oh, maybe it has come out. Has it? No. It's nearly stuck to Claire's one. Right. I'm getting to it. Right, this is Darcy's story. If you could have one wish about being asexual, what would it be and why? I think I would wish for asexuality to be better understood and better known in the world. So I wouldn't have to spend years questioning. So I wouldn't have had to spend years questioning if there is something wrong with me, and people wouldn't act so strange when I tell them I am ace. I agree. I think we really do need asexuality to be better understood and better known in the world. I think it needs to be on a huge global scale. You know, people are doing what they can. There's more coverage on local news now, national news. There's more articles in magazines and online. It is improving, but I think we've still got a lot of work to do. You know, we need people to understand that asexuality is a valid sexual orientation, and we need them to know it from a young age that it's okay to not have sex. I can't believe still in this 21st century that people are teaching that sex is the right thing to have and the best thing to have and to do. I can't believe that people are being conditioned and brought up from a young age to still believe this, to still believe that sex is just the only thing that cements a relationship, and that romance always goes with sex, and that, you know, in order to have a good relationship you need sex. And I can't believe in the 21st century we're still living this type of life, which is not a total truthful life, is it? It's just a very shaded life, one that's been held by the minority for a long time, but it doesn't make it right. Sex can be very, very dangerous, in the sense, there's possibility of rape, there's obviously possibility of unwanted pregnancies, there's there's the fact that you might be pushed to do something you don't want to do, and be abused, and there's quite a lot of safety issues surrounding. So I'm surprised that people are automatically taught that sex is part of everyday life, part of relationships. You should be doing it. You know, I mean, there should always be that alternative for people. You know, I'd love it as a kid if I was told, yeah, you don't have to have sex. I'd be like, great, you know, wonderful. I can be free to be me. I don't need to, you know, be this type of person that has to have it stuck in them. And, you know, I could be me, you know. I really love being asexual. I don't want intercourse. I don't want to be that person who has intercourse ever again. It doesn't suit me. It's not my thing. I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel good, you know, and I don't want it, you know. That's how I feel. If I'd have known I was asexual years ago, I don't think I would. Well, I think I would have tried sex, but I just would have liked the fact that there was an alternative, you know, that I knew that I didn't have to do that if I didn't want to, and it's perfectly fine. And I kind of wished that there was more asexuals around when I was smaller, you know, when I was a kid in birth certificate age. I really wish that. I wish that there was, you know, lots of kids that knew they were asexual and that were happy to like team up boyfriend and girlfriend without any sexual pressure. Because I think as soon as you start getting in your teens, you know, there's a huge amount of sexual pressure on you in schools and by society, you know, to fit in. Like, oh, have you done it yet? You know, like, when are you doing it? Like, sex is such a big deal, and it shouldn't be. It should be a big deal from the point of view of safety, the point of view of being, you know, careful and considerate about doing it, and all the risks involved in it, you know, the STDs, the STIs, you know, and the whole, you know, boundaries. I mean, kids are not taught in school boundaries within a relationship. They're not taught about confidence, self-esteem, you know. So it's likely that quite a number of children could get, you know, grow up as teenagers getting involved in sexual relationships that are no good for them. That's what happened to me, you know. I had low self-esteem years ago. I had low confidence. I didn't love myself, and I just wanted to have some love, you know. I didn't want the sex, but sex came with the so-called love, you know, and it was not nice. And I wish that asexuality was better understood. I wish it was better known throughout the whole globe, especially growing up, from children to teens and adults, to know it's okay. It's perfectly fine not to have sex, you know. If you love sex and you're a person that wants sex, great. But if you don't, that's perfectly valid and okay and fine too, you know. And I wish that all asexuals could live in fear of ridicule in the future, and they could all come out and everyone would be cool with it. All the parents, all the relatives would be like, oh, right, you're asexual, no problem. Thanks for letting me know. You know, that's what I'd like in the future. That's what I'd like for us all. I mean, what is your view? You know, if you could have one wish about being asexual, what would it be and why? I'd love to hear what your own views. What are they? Post them in the comments below, please. I'd love to hear from you. If you've liked this video and enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. Don't forget, if you want to get a copy of Asexual Perspectives, you can do so on Amazon, or as it's under my own book company, is ISBN on the printed copy. So you can order that from any good bookshop. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's, and I will see you on the next video or live stream. Take care. Bye.